Module 7. Working at height and excavations. The basic rules. Working at height without collective protection such as scaffolding, guardrails, or cherry picker shall be avoided. The use of anti-chute harness is the last resort in case of fall and can only be used after proper training. Always work under direct and constant visual surveillance. Railings. All the guardrails installed on our site comply with current legislation and have been inspected. If a guardrail shows the slightest lack of conformity or discontinuity in collective protection, stop. Notify your manager immediately. Openings in the ground must be marked out at 30 centimetres from each side of the opening. Ladders. Individual rolling platforms shall be preferred. Ladders must be stored and locked and inaccessible without request. They must be compliant and have the correct colour tag. When installing, the slope must be between 65 degrees and 75 degrees, and the overlap must be at least 1 metre, the equivalent of 3 rungs. Make sure the ladder is stable. Climb and go down always facing the ladder. Respect the 3 support points when holding onto the rungs and wear gloves. The ladder is a means of access, not a workstation. Exceptional use of the ladder as a workstation is possible with ENG's safety approval. If the operation lasts more than 5 minutes and is 1.80 metres above the ground, you must wear a harness connected to an anchorage point. Scaffolding. Before accessing scaffolding, read the scaffolding compliance label and the daily inspection. If there's no label or the scaffold is non-compliant, stop. Report any anomalies. It is forbidden to dismantle or modify the scaffolding. Always close the access hatches after use. Rolling scaffolding can be moved only without anyone inside. Cherry pickers. The use of cherry pickers is subject to authorization. Mark out the zone of displacement of the cherry picker. The presence of a supervisor outside the cherry picker and with the same qualifications as the cherry picker operator is mandatory. The cherry picker is not a lifting equipment or an access mean. Excavations. Before accessing the excavations, be sure that the daily inspection has been done. If the controls show non-compliance, stop. The limits of the excavations shall be protected by guardrails. If there is any defect, non-compliance or discontinuity, stop. Inform your management immediately. Work at height subject to authorization. Work on ropes. This type of work is subject to a special protocol. Stop. Contact your manager. Such work may only be carried out by personnel trained and authorized by ENG. Work on roofs. Priority should be given to the use of a cherry pickers or scaffolding. A specific operating procedure is put in place to define the retention lanyards and means of restraint depending on the work to be carried out. To summarize, prioritize collective protection, cherry picker, guardrail. Ladders are only a mean of access unless an ENG exemption is granted. Before accessing scaffolding, I check it daily. Not trained equals not authorized. Stop. This module is now finished. We will now check your level of knowledge.